Hey, what is up, guys? Palm Belt Beer Reviews back here again with you today for another one. And this one that I have today is a Ghost River beer out of Memphis, Tennessee. Their Oktoberfest Meriton style ale. So it is an ale, not a lager. Some will do like Oktoberfest lagers instead of ales, but this one is an ale. And it's got the like Munich malts and whatnot in it. It just says it's a full-bodied malty Meriton ale, reminiscent of the traditional, German-style Meritons. So let's go ahead and crack it open. There are no scores for it on Beer Advocate. It's a 3.4 on Untapped. Those are pretty much the only two review things that I go by whenever I'm going to try a new beer and just kind of want to know what other people think about it. Besides YouTube, of course, as well. I also go on there a good bit. So pouring it, I already can tell it's got a nice fizzy head. Might not stick around. It is 28 IBUs, and as far as I can tell, there is not anything about the ABV, the alcohol content on it. But it's probably not any higher than 6% though. So, all right, let's go ahead and look what we get with that. Though you can kind of see, head is really fizzy. You can see all the bubbles and stuff there. Lots of carbonation for sure, and it's more or less kind of a pale gold color. Kind of looks like a lager, really. That's basically the color I'm seeing that you're seeing there. Just kind of a pale, almost kind of a pale orange gold. But it is classified as an ale, so shouldn't have any lager type of things going on with it. It's just got the Munich malts and German hop varieties. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of looks like a typical beer, really. Let's go ahead and go for the aroma on it. So the aroma's sweet, and the aroma actually kind of reminds me a little bit of Miller High Life. I could kind of smell it just with it down here without even having to put my nose to it. But it kind of has that sort of corn sweetness to it without the skunk, because Miller High Life has that sort of a little bit of that funky kind of flavor to it, or that funky kind of aroma to it. So this one doesn't really have that, but it's got the nice kind of the sweetness from the malts for sure. And I mean, maybe a little bit of wheat in there. I don't know if they actually put wheat. Doesn't really say anything about it on the bottle or on the website. But I mean, it smells like a good Meriton. It doesn't really have that kind of sweet bread kind of smell that I get from a lot of them. Kind of like a sweet, kind of slightly spicy, kind of like cake-like bread. I kind of have with the aromas on a lot of these, but not really getting that with this. Just sweet maltiness really for it. I mean, pretty basic on the aroma scale. So let's go ahead and go for the flavor on it. Sweet bread flavor definitely comes through on the front. The first sip, the front of the palate, the sweet bread flavor comes through on this in the flavor. It kind of mellows out to more of just like a typical just kind of maltiness. There's a bit of like a kind of chalky kind of taste to it. I wouldn't really know what that's from, but there is a bit of a chalkiness that kind of begins in the middle and kind of ends in the finish a little bit. Yeah, there's a little bit of fruitiness though there too, but there's just kind of this this flatness in the flavor that kind of gets towards the end. It's almost kind of grassy, a little bitter, but it could be just the hops, the German hops, but it's a little bit off. It's not really, doesn't take too much away from the flavor with this beer though, I don't think, but it's definitely there. Something that I can definitely pick up just on my personal palate, but it's not terrible or anything though. It's not bad really. It's just noticeable. The finish is pretty crisp. A little bit of a medium kind of body there with it, but otherwise the amount of carbonation, you might still be able to see it. I mean, there's all kinds of bubbles in it. A little bit of the carbonation definitely picks up on the tongue. I mean, it's fizzy, but like I said, medium body, really not really too, but it is drinkable, and it's got a bit of a wet finish as well. There's just a little bit of that dry, chalkiness that kind of just sort of comes through, even on the mouthfeel. But I mean, otherwise, it's a really solid Oktoberfest. Really, if I'm gonna drink Oktoberfest specifically as a style, like if I was to buy more of it, that wasn't just me going and saying, "Ooh, like there's a new Oktoberfest like this one." Um, I would probably kind of more go with like Sam Adams Oktoberfest or something along those lines. Yeah, so I mean, I also kind of enjoyed the Sierra Nevada's Oktoberfest from this year as well, but um, or Shiner Oktoberfest actually, uh, probably more so than Sierra Nevada's, but definitely gonna look out for more of them because I do really enjoy the style, and this one is very pleasant and enjoyable as well. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a B plus on this one for me. Probably won't look for it again specifically to just to drink this one. Like I said, but B plus on it. I'm starting to ramble, so until next time, thank you for watching, and see you next time.